This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
"6:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Lal Mallavarachi, read by Sound Dithavam. Sri Lanka's airports reopen for tourists today. The Presidential Commission of Inquiry on the Easter Sunday attacks will submit its report to the President before January 31st. Sri Lanka's coronavirus cases total moves to 55,000, while the death toll hikes to 274. The Colombo University celebrates its centenary today. The Prime Minister requests the parents to send their children to schools following health protective measures. In news overseas, new US President Biden was sworn in amid Trump snub. The Bandaranaike International Airport, which will open today after 9 months, will see the arrival of tourists and passengers. 15 flights are bound to reach the BIA in the next 24 hours, carrying tourists from various countries. There are a total of 433 passengers billed to arrive in Colombo today. The director of the airport aviation operation, Shehan Sumanasekara, says the first flight is scheduled to land today around 7:30 a.m. The BIA and MIA will both be reopened for tourists from today. The tourists will be welcomed under strict health guidelines. The Presidential Commission of Inquiry, PCOI, mandated to probe the terror attacks on Easter Sunday, concluded its hearings on Tuesday this week and is to submit the report to President Gotabaya Rajapaksa before January 31st. It is learned that the report may be submitted on January 31st, the day the term of the PCOI comes to an end. However, it is learned that several key figures had not been present before the Commission for testimony during its proceedings that lasted for more than 15 months. Former President Maithripala Sirisena appointed the PCOI on the Easter Sunday attacks in 2019. The term of the Commission was to end on December 20th before it was extended till January 31st by President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. The Health Ministry says a total of 768 coronavirus infections have been reported yesterday. As per the statistics, the total number of COVID-19 infections confirmed in the country to date now stands at 55,189. Recoveries from the virus, meanwhile, climbed to 47,215 as more patients regained health and were discharged yesterday. However, 7,700 active cases are still under medical care at selected hospitals and treatment centres. The Director General of Health Services confirmed that another individual had fallen victim to the virus yesterday. The deceased is a 53-year-old female residing in Mallavagedara, Negombo. Thereby, Sri Lanka has witnessed 274 deaths related to COVID-19 so far. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
HDFC Smart Goals. All it takes is 3 years.
Sri Lanka's premier higher education institute, the Colombo University, celebrates its centenary this year. One of the main celebrations will be held today. The university we see today as we pass Reed Avenue is where the Ceylon University College once stood, especially the iconic building of the College House, which is now the main administrative building of the University of Colombo and houses the office of the Vice-Chancellor. The University of Colombo can be traced back to the inception of university education in British Ceylon, and it shares its centenary celebration with university education in Sri Lanka as a whole, especially for the universities of Colombo and Peradeniya. Today, the University of Colombo consists of 9 faculties: arts, education, graduate studies, law, management and finance, medicine, nursing, science and technology, with 7 institutions and 9 centres that currently educate more than 11,500 students. Vice-Chancellor Professor Chandrika N. Wijeyaratne said that under the prevailing COVID-19 pandemic restrictions, the university is planning on holding a full-day celebratory program today through a blended system. The ceremony will be conducted with limited participation of university officials and emeritus professors and will be live-streamed for the rest of the staff. A special one-hour English program under the name of Candy Classics will be broadcast from today through the Kandurata service of the SLBC. The first program is scheduled to be broadcast from 11 a.m. to 12 noon. The chairman of the SLBC, Visharada Jagat Vikramasinghe, says this program is important for the students and all English teachers and listeners. The main objective of this program is to show the proper use of English language. Minister Kelly Rambukwala will participate as a chief guest at the inaugural ceremony. This program will be broadcast through the other regional services of the SLBC as well. That concludes local news.
Darling, our daughter has top O-level results. Do you know what this means?
Yes, just 3 years and she'll be going abroad for her degree.
For which we'll need a bank loan.
But is a normal loan the smartest option?
What else?
The smartest way is to start an HDFC Smart Goals account.
Let your child begin their degree with no delays. Start an HDFC Smart Goals account. Call 2356 888.
Honey, you're so smart.
HDFC Smart Goals. All it takes is 3 years.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddha Alepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddha Alepa, the Vedha Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddha Alepa Vedha Mahatmya.
Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa says that steps will be taken to implement educational activities of students methodically in the wake of the coronavirus pandemic. He said that the parents also have a responsibility to send children to school following health protective measures. The Prime Minister mentioned this addressing a function yesterday at the Homagama Mahinda Rajapaksa Vidyalaya over video technology. He said that the education system will be updated. The Prime Minister said that there is a reduction of students at schools which have commenced and came to you in the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddha Alepa Vedha Mahatmya.
Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddha Alepa.
Moving on to Watchlight, the Kandy police raided a large-scale distribution of substandard sanitizers near the Kandy city centre yesterday and seized a consignment of sanitizer bottles meant for sale. 2 individuals who are engaged in packing the sanitizers were also arrested. Investigations have revealed that the suspects have been distributing substandard sanitizers across the country using the brand name of a leading sanitizer manufacturer. It has been revealed that these substandard sanitizers do not contain the required alcohol content, and it came to you in Watchlight.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always.
All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
In world news headlines, new US President Biden was sworn in amid Trump snub. Madrid explosion leaves 3 dead, and the EU orders next-generation Galileo satellites. Joe Biden has been sworn in as the 46th US president, ending one of the most dramatic political transitions in American history. Quote, democracy has prevailed, unquote, he said, after taking the oath of office from Chief Justice John Roberts. Donald Trump, who has not formally conceded the presidency to Mr. Biden, snubbed the inauguration ceremony in a departure from long-standing precedent. The new president swiftly signed a raft of measures reversing Trump policies. Kamala Harris was sworn in as vice president ahead of Mr. Biden. She is the first woman and is the first Black and Asian American person to serve in the role. At least 3 people have died last night following an explosion that caused a building to partially collapse in the center of the Spanish capital, Madrid. A 4th person was missing and several others were hurt, officials said. City officials said the blast, which destroyed 4 floors of the building, had been caused by a gas leak. Mayor Jose Luis Martinez Almeida told reporters after the blast that a fire was raging inside the building, which belongs to the Catholic Church. The European Commission has handed down industrial contracts worth a total of $1.97 billion to build the next generation of Galileo satellites. The work is going to be the continent's two dominant space manufacturers, Airbus and Thales Alenia Space. They will make 6 spacecraft, each for the Global Navigation Satellite System, with the first of them likely to go into orbit in 2024. Back to the headlines of this World News broadcast. New US President Biden was sworn in amid Trump snub. Madrid explosion leaves 3 dead, and the EU orders next-generation Galileo satellites. That concludes this bulletin of World News.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always.
All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Looking at development news, the President and Prime Minister have instructed officials of the Urban Development and Housing Ministry to complete construction of projects that have been stalled during the time of the previous government. Secretary to the Ministry of Urban Development and Housing, Sirinimal Pereira, had been appointed as the competent officer. The officials recently made an observation tour of the housing complex in Slave Island, Colombo, which has been partially completed. State Minister Nalaka Godaheva is heading the operation to complete constructions of the projects, and that came to you in development news. In sports, Joe Root's England will look to sweep Sri Lanka in the second and final test starting tomorrow. However, veteran player Angelo Matthews says that the team is ready to face England with confidence to win this match and to tie the series. That's sports news, and we look at business news. The new Microfinance Act has been formulated to bring in the informal sector into the regulated space. The policy will work towards improved borrowing costs in the small and medium enterprise sector along with the microfinance sector. The State Minister of Samurdhi, Shehan Semasinghe, noted that the government had discussions with various stakeholders, inclusive of the Central Bank and the Treasury, to formulate the new policy. That's business news, economic news to follow.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Just move on real time, save more, LOLC real time. Paying the premium for transactions, simply save now real time. Day night, no trouble for your transactions, LOLC real time. Download LOLC Finance real time app for your LOLC savings account. Attractive interest rates, transactions anytime, anywhere with a zero cost and more benefits.
Export earnings in December 2020 amounted to $931.65 million, which was 13.7% higher than November 2020 and 6.91% lower than December 2019, as per the customs statistics. The reduction recorded in October and November exports due to the COVID-19 outbreak in Sri Lanka, which has had a direct impact on our manufacturing and export facilities, also continued in December 2020. Amid severe impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic, Sri Lanka's merchandise exports remained at $9.9 billion in 2020, which is a 104% achievement from the revised forecast of $9.5 billion. That's economic news.
Congratulations on your promotion. When will be our treat, huh?
How about today?
Oh no, I was just joking.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
In the weather report, to conclude, the Met Department says several spells of showers will occur in the northern, north central, eastern and Uva provinces. Showers or thundershowers will occur at several places in the western and Sabaragamu provinces and in the Galle and Matara districts. Fairly heavy falls above 50 millimeters can be expected at some places. To conclude this morning's news broadcast, a recap of the headlines. Sri Lanka's airports reopen for tourists today. The Presidential Commission of Inquiry on the Easter Sunday attacks will submit its report to the President before January 31st. Sri Lanka's coronavirus cases total moves to 55,000, while the death toll hikes to 274. The Colombo University celebrates its centenary today. The Prime Minister requests the parents to send their children to schools following health protective measures. And the new US President Biden was sworn in amid Trump snub. That concludes this bulletin of news.